like that, it's all over.
Test 1, 2, microphone check. All good. All right. Looks okay. Yeah, I think that's good. We'll just look on the lens and make sure everything works. Okay, you ready to go?
Yes, sir.
You don't have to bend down. What? You stay on the shoulder or something? Come on. All right, this is Andy Cotterill with MMA.ca here with a very tall Jordan Meehan. Jordan, congratulations. Congratulations on your really good win tonight at Prospect FC 16 in Toronto.
Thank you so much. I am so tall.
You are so tall. You're also really good in the cage. As exhibited by tonight, it was a 3-round, you basically controlled him for the whole fight. Tell me your thoughts coming in this fight, what you knew about this guy, Ricardo Chavez from Mexico, and your thoughts after the fight.
Ricardo Chavez, Ricardo Villasenor. He's got lots of fights. You can look him up. I was studying him. Tough dude. I was like, all right, let's control this guy. He's super tough. But I was clearly landing some shots, apparently. I didn't really feel him when I was hitting him standing. But he went down, but I was still trying to control him, so I jumped right on him. And probably should have done a better job of posturing up, passing, that whole thing, but I was hanging on. I was hanging on.
So that fighting style of yours, a few times I saw you were like posturing in front of him, you're like opening your arms like wide open, as if you're inviting him to come in, and when he'd move, you'd tag him. So is there a name for that fighting style?
No, that's it's famously from Roy Jones, right? Sucker move I stole from a gamecock, right? Sticks out and hits him, James Toney. I also ran. Did you see me run from him? Hit the angle and ran, but yeah, no, he's a tough dude. I think he did a flying kick at me too. Might have hit my arm or my body or something, but yeah, strong guy, strong man.
So after the fight, you mentioned it to the crowd about how at one point you were in his guard, you were posturing up, putting pressure on him, and he was making a lot of noise. What was he saying down there?
Well, yeah, I was experimenting with this, like, grab your collarbone, clavicle area, and just drive in there with my hands to control you, to kind of like hang in the middle and see what you can do. It's kind of like hanging onto a gi, I guess it would be, like hanging onto the noose, and you're controlling down the middle. But he started gurgling, and then I was like, tap then, don't be complaining, just tap. And then he would, and then he'd hit me in the head, and it's like, all right, fine. And then he laughed about it, but it was good. It was good.
So right after the fight, you were almost apologetic to the fans. You were talking about feeling the mood of the fans, and you were saying that you were there not to get beat up. You were there to win the fight.
Well, as a fan, I'm disappointed in that. I don't like that. But as a fighter and as a martial artist, I fucking love it, because I was controlling him and I was doing what he couldn't do, and I was, gaming it, and I was winning the game, and he was pissed about it. And I love that. But as a fan, you wanted to see, like, main event club, you wanted to see motherfuckers bang it out, and I was like, I can do that, but I'm also gonna just fucking do this, and I did that, and I'm proud of that for myself, and I love that, and I hold that to my heart, and it feels good. Yeah.
So I had a chat with your dad yesterday at the weigh-ins, and I mentioned how the first time I ever met your dad was probably around 2007 when he brought a bunch of Canadian martial arts fighters out to Halifax, and at the time he said to me something I've remembered forever. He said, "Fighters fight," and I feel like that's how you feel. I also feel that's what Ricardo Chavez felt. Fighters fight. Do you feel like in today's world where so many of the fighters are so engrossed in their social media and they look pretty and they show off and all this kind of stuff, are you like a different kind of breed? You just fight?
No, I'm like them too. I get all fucking pussy and scared too and run around. But you got to just take it when it's time for you to take it, and you got to go for it when it's time for you to go for it, and sign up when it's time to sign up. And you got to figure that out for yourself. If you want to, there's lots of ways to do this game, and I don't know. I get to see from behind the scenes because my old man's the manager, matchmaker, promoter, gym owner, dad, doing all that stuff, right? Grandfather. So I get to watch all the hats that he wears. So it's kind of, I have an interesting perspective from it that a lot of fighters don't get to see. So that's maybe helps a little bit. But hey, we got fighters in our gym too that do it. They do it tactically, right? You're just thinking like, hey, I want to plan it out and I want to do that. You should do that. If that's also their personality. I don't necessarily have that personality all the time. Like tonight I was tactical, and I did what I need to do, but sometimes you just need to go for it and take it when the time is when you need to take it, basically. That's how I feel.
So it's crazy just thinking about it, how long you've been in the fight game. Like I met you when you were 16 or 17. You've probably had more fight experience, more in-cage experience than any other Canadian fighter that's still fighting right now. And how old are you right now?
33.
So you're a UFC veteran, you're a Bellator veteran. So just for the fans, you told me yesterday, but what happened to your Bellator contract?
That I was basically just sat on it, and then they were like, hey, we're not going to re-sign you. And I said, okay. And then we said, hey, who can we fight? And Jamie, Prospect, Alex Caparici were like, hey, want to fight? And we said, yes. And then he said, hey, you want to fight this guy? We said, yes. And that's kind of the blueprint that I know to get there, back to wherever you want to go. Say yes, show up, fight.
So you said that's back to where you want to go. You did actually retire in the past. So what's happened through your lifetime and your experience that's made you want to get back in the game?
Well, I've never really left the game. I guess I have in the sense of like in the cage on fight night, but I have, you know, just absolute animals at the gym that I'm always fighting, and I'm always there actually fighting. And shout out to Sheldon Dahl, because that I fight that man, and he's a beast, and he whoops my butt, and I'm scared of that dude too. So he helps me, prepares me, and like, so I don't ever feel like I'm out of the game, but I am in the sense of the big lights and all that. So I feel that. I hear what you're saying there, and what, you know, made me get back, or what was the question of like why I got back in there, I guess is what you're saying. Yeah. I guess it feels like another expression of what I'm already doing in my life. It's like I'm a martial artist at home and at the gym, and I'm teaching, and I'm you know, being a father, and I'm doing this, and then I'm going to the grappling tournaments, and then I'm doing my gi jiu-jitsu, and then so it's like, and then there's fighting, and then it's like, oh, there's another expression I can just go and like do, and it's kind of like an ego thing too. It's like, what can I prove to myself? What can I think I can do? And then you get there, and it's like, holy fuck, this is fucking crazy, and you're in it, and it's all wild, and I guess it's just all a part of it, and I'm just rolling with it, and it's a part of what I got going on.
Well, that's awesome to hear. As a fan, I love watching you fight. So I've got 2 more questions. Those are the hard questions I gave you already. Or sorry, those are the fluff questions I gave you. The next 2 are very hard. So number 1, if somebody's trying to get a hold of you on Instagram and you're not answering, why is that?
Why is that? Well, things are tied to technology, and my password is tied to a certain phone that is broken, so I have to get that phone fixed, I guess, or if it's fixable, I'm not too sure, and it's attached to that, so that's my answer to that.
Okay, inquiring minds want to know. So last question, perhaps the most difficult. I'm not even sure if I should say it, but I'm going to do it anyway. I'm a hard-hitting journalist, don't you know? Anyway, so you're 33 years old. 33. How much longer is the nickname Young Gun going to stick with you?
Oof. Neil Barry asked me this, I think, every day I walk through those doors at the gym. Young Gun. Come on, what? I don't know. He's got so many. I don't even know. What we say? Musket, Jordan the Musket, me in. We say old gun. We say dumb gun. I don't know. I've heard some of those. Young gut. I've heard. Come on, I don't know. I don't even know. When you get it, you're given nicknames. I didn't make it up. I didn't even like it to begin with. And that's what happens when you don't like something. It just like comes right back and holds on to you. And it's like, okay, I guess that's what it is.
You should come up with a nickname for Neil in his van.
Neil in his van. Dude, that motherfucker's got a stove in his van. That thing is sweet.
I know, it's pretty awesome. Okay, Jordan, do you have anybody you want to give any shout out to before we go?
Yeah, big ups to my dad for helping me out with everything that he helps me out with and bringing me to the event. He's the link, he's the link for all these fights. And, he's the connect and he's the link. So I'm in a really fortunate position. And he's also my father, and we got the gym going on, and it's a beautiful thing to be a part of, and yeah, I love it.
Awesome. Well, there you go, fight fans. You heard it here. Jordan Young Gun Meehan, one of Canada's future stars, past stars, current stars, just a star overall. So looking forward to seeing you back in here, Jordan. Good luck.
Hey, great seeing you, man.
Right. Thank you. Goodbye. I never know how to end those things. Thank you. Goodbye. What's up with that? All right, Jordan, that was awesome, man.
Hey, yeah.
You're
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you. Man, I remember when you came